Now the stator and the flywheel have been installed. I still have to torque down the nut here. I believe it's about 33 pounds. You want to get yourself a good holder like this Motion Pro holder right here. It's called an MP08207. This works great for holding down like clutches, or see, it's got two small pins on one side and two large ones on the other. The small pins work in these two corresponding holes, and you can adjust it wherever you want, but it'll allow you to hold the moving 360-degree piece while you're torquing it down. Now a lot of guys will, and I've done this once before, but if you'll look right in these little holes here where the fan goes, I have taken a steering wheel puller and I put screw or bolts in here, and I put a steering wheel puller right here to pull this off. And what I've done is I've gotten the bolts in too deep, and this is spun on me, and when it spun, the bolt ends right there ripped the hell out of these copper coils. And it was Good Night Irene, the Fat Lady had sung. I screwed, blued, and tattooed. I had to go spend $150 on a new alternator. So you don't want to do that. If you're going to take the alternator off, you want to get one of these. You can buy them for $15, $16 on eBay, and it fits right in the center here. First of all, you have to unscrew this. And this other side right here, it's a dual tool. This works on the Dio, and this works on the RUCKUS for the alternator removal. So you just find thread, stick it on here, and get it to go on there. I won't do it with the nut probably, but it'll go on like that until you get it seated, and then you take a wrench and turn it clockwise, and this will pop off without hurting any expensive electrical stuff. Whoops. Well, it didn't hurt anything, so what? Okay, now I've got the wiring in, I have everything in. I have to line up the cam, shaft, the valves, and the piston. In order to do that, I made a little mistake here. It has a couple of marks on it. I painted this white. You'll see it's a little tiny arrow or a triangle. I painted that white. Also on the side of the flywheel is a mark. It says T and F. The T and F are in the center of these two lines. The mark that says T, and you can see where I've done it in white, what you need to do is rotate your flywheel until that perfectly lines up. And you can see when I'm doing this, it's changing the chain. The chain's no big deal, but this mark has to line up with that arrow. Okay? Now when I go to put on the top sprocket, it's going to have a mark on it. Okay? This mark has to correspond with the mark on the top of the motor. You're either going to, with the camshaft, it has, let's see if I can do this. The camshaft has two bolt holes. So this little sprocket is either going to go on absolutely correctly or absolutely wrong. That's why it has a mark on each side of it. One here and one here. We're just going to use that for reference. So we keep this here, and you can see it move just a little bit. We'll move that up. Want to make sure your line is as close as possible. This lines up the synchronization between the crankshaft firing and the valves opening and closing for evacuating and bringing in fuel. All right, so I'm going to put the gears on the top of the crankshaft, and we'll go from there.